Hi, welcome to Madras Academy. In this session, we are going to learn about control statement. In control statement, we are using if, else, switch case, looping, and as well as for each. These are all the control statement. In last session, we already used the if else keyword to check the value. Okay, in that we already explained about the conditional operator and as well as logical operator. For that, I used this if else keyword. Using this, how to check the value and how to print the output. If the condition is true, else false, like that we already returned. And in this session, we are going to learn about switch case and as well as looping. These are all the topics we are going to cover in this session. And what is switch case and how to write the program using Java we'll see, and as well as looping. In looping we have three types of loop: while loop, do while, and for loop. Okay, using this loop, how to iterate the value. That means repeatedly I need to execute the code again and again till to 5 times, 10 times. Now in that time we can use the looping condition. Okay, and how this loop will execute, everything we will see. And as well as we are having for each concept. In this for each we are using for and colon. Using this for and colon operator, we need to retrieve the value from the array. Okay, and here while we using the for each, no need to check the condition. How many elements we are having inside that array? It will retrieve all the element continuously till the condition is getting false. Okay, so for that purpose we can use an array here. And as well as we are going to learn about the keywords. Okay, and first I will explain about the keywords and then we will move on to the switch case syntax. And after completing the program for that switch case, okay, we'll see the practical execution for the switch case in Java. After that, I will explain the looping condition and using loop how to write the programs. We'll see it. Okay, and finally we will use the for each statement using array. How to write the code, we will see. Okay, so like this way we'll do the session. And first we will learn about the keywords. So what is keyword? About keywords. In Java, we have 53 keywords. And it is also called as a reserved word. Okay, it is also called as a reserved word. And we are not supposed to use that word for our own purpose, such as a variable declaration, class name, or function name, like that. Okay, so this all the keywords, only we need to write it in a lower case, not in a upper case. Okay, so for example, we already used this if else keyword in last session. In the same way, we are creating the main function using public, right? That also we are writing in small letter only. Okay, and then static. Okay, and as well as class. Okay, these are all the keywords, and in the same way we are having some keywords also. And right now in this session, I am going to use the switch case and default keyword also. Okay, and in the similar way we are having 53 keywords, and one by one we will see it in a next session. What are the other keywords and how to use that keyword, where we are using, everything we'll discuss it. Okay, and now we'll see the switch case and default, how to write it using switch case and the default keyword. How to write in a coding, we will see. First I will show you the syntax for this. Okay, so this is a switch case syntax in Java. So how I written: switch within a parenthesis expression, curly bracket opening closing, and inside that we need to write the code. Okay, so this is a keyword, and here I am having an expression. Okay, and whatever the code you need to write inside this, we need to write it. In the same way, here come to the second syntax. I created the case and a value. Case and a value. Inside case also it is a block. Okay, inside that we need to write the code. And after completing the code, at last, before that close brace, we need to write the break keyword. Okay, and break is entered with a semicolon. Break is used to terminate the block. We need to stop the execution. Okay, for example, if I give a case 1, that is, this is expression 1, it will automatically enter into this block, and whatever the code we are having here, that will execute. And I need to break the statement and need to come out of the block. Okay, so for that I am using break. If I am not writing a break, it will automatically execute the second case also. Okay, so only one case I need. So for that I am using this break keyword in all the case block. Okay, like this way we can create a multiple case block, whatever you need. Here I used integer. In the same way, if it is character or string or float value, okay, whatever the case value, whatever the type you need to write it, everything you can write it. Here I used integer value such as 1, 2, 3. If you need to write 3, 4, like that you can create it. Okay, if the case value is not matched, see in this code, my expression, if I give 4, the 4 case is not here. Okay, in that time it will automatically enter into the default block. It is similar to else block. Okay, and whatever the invalid message you are going to write it, you can write here like your case value is invalid, choice is not available, like that you can write any messages here that will print. Okay, like this way we can write the switch case. And first we'll see the program in Java using this switch case syntax, how to write the code, and then I will explain you the looping condition. Okay, first we will open the Notepad Plus and as well as command window to write this program. See, this is my class 3 folder. In class 3, in last program we did student details. I just calculated the student total and average, and I print the grade. Using if else I print the grade. Okay, that is the last program we did. And right now I'm going to create the class 4. Okay, so for that I'm going to give cd dot dot. Okay, I'm just coming out of that directory, and I'm going to create a make directory, and here class 4. Okay, see that class 4 folder is created, and inside that folder I need to save the program, whatever I'm going to write it right now. So I'm going to move on to the class 4 folder like this way in command prompt. Okay, now I entered into the class 4 folder in command window, like this we need to do it. And I'm going to the notepad. Okay, and I'm going to write the program here. And first we'll write the basic code, class program 1 flower raise open close. First we need to save this file, so go to the class 4 folder. Okay, inside that you can save this file. See, in class 4 I'm having. Okay, just I closed that one. Okay, so here I'm going to write the switch case, right? So that is our code. I'm going to write it here. So we need a basic code for that, static block and a main function. Okay, and in this static block I'm going to write a system dot out dot println. Here I'm going to use then double quotation, what we will plan here. Well, I'm going to give arithmetical operator. Operator. Okay, this is a calculation, I'm going to do it. Okay, so here I'm going to give the choice for that. Okay, println 1 is for addition. Okay, and in the same way I'm going to write a 2 and a 3. Okay, 2 and a 3. and this is for the subtraction, and this one is for the multiple. Okay, so that's it. So here I'm going to declare the variable. So int, I need a choice. Okay, I need to get the choice from the user. So I'm using choice, and I need to calculate the value a comma b comma c. Okay, those are all the variables I need. For the calculation purpose I'm using here. For choice I need to write it this one. So both are integer only. So we need to get the runtime input. So we will import the util package, util dot asterisk semicolon, and here you can declare the scanner object also. Scanner s1 equal to new scanner, and only one scanner is enough. So why? Because I'm having only one integer declaration. Okay, so I used a scanner also. And first, while we execute this program, we will get the static block message only, right? So here arithmetical operator like this, it will display the message, and after that some choice will display. Okay, addition, subtraction, multiple, like that. And here what I'm going to do, I'm going to enter the choice like that. I'm going to ask the message. Okay, so from the user, they have to enter the value. I need to get the value for the choice variable in integer type, right? So I'm using next int method. Okay, and inside that I'm going to write the choice switch within that choice. This is an expression. Choice is an expression. Okay, so like this we need to write it, and after that we need to write a case 1. So already I used a case 1 only. Okay, case 2 and as well as case 3. Okay, and if I'm entered the improper choice value na, it will enter into this block. Okay, so I'm having 3 blocks, right? Addition, subtraction and multiple. So I'm using 3 blocks, and as well as default block I return here. In all the case block and default block we need to write the break keyword. Okay, copy this and paste it for all the blocks. Okay, and first we will complete the invalid message. System dot out dot println choice value is invalid. Okay, like this it will display the message, and if the value is correct now, then we need to get the a and b value, right? So for that, here I just copied this, and if you need to write it here, the input statement na, you can write it enter first number. In the same way, enter second number, like that you can write it second number for the b variable. Okay, so each and every time if you write like this, okay, if it is in case 1 we have to write it here, and if it is in case 2 again we need to write the input statement, right? If it is case 3 again we have to write it. In that time we will get code, more code in this program. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to write this code here itself. Okay, so after enter the choice, I'm going to enter the a and the b value. Okay, if I entered there only one time, we can write the code, input code for a and b, and no need to write it here. Each and every block no need to write it. And the c equal to just whatever the calculation we need, we can write it. Okay, c equal to a plus b, and here a system dot out dot println, like that we can write it println within a parenthesis sum of two number plus c. Okay, only this one we need to write it, only the calculation and output statement. Okay, just come to this second block, and this is for the subtraction, and here subtraction, and here we need to write multiplication, multiple. Okay, and here multiple of two number. Okay, so like this we can write it. Okay, so now I completed everything. We'll see the output for this, and here you have to compile the program using Java C program 1.java and Java program 1. So if I give 1 as a choice, I can get the input for A and B variable. Whatever the values are given here, it will calculate and will print the output. Okay. And in the same way, if it is 2, again I am going to check the input for A and B variable. This is for the subtraction. And for the multiplication, 3, again input multiple of two number. Okay, and if it is 60, that choice case value is not there, so it won't print the output. Okay, in that time, see here I'm getting the first number and the second number, right? So no need to get this first number and the second number here. If the choice value is false, no need to print, no need to enter the value for this, right? So for this we need to give one more checking condition. So how to write it here? After entering the choice, we need to check the choice. Choice is equal to 0, or I'm using or operator. Choice is greater than equal to 3. Okay, we need to enter into this block, and we need to terminate that code. Okay, so no need to print any message. Okay, and here also you can print it like system.out.println. Your choice value is invalid, like that. There itself we will print it, and it won't allow you to print whatever the next input and output we are having here. That will not print. Okay, so if you terminate like this, and here I used OR operator. If it is choice value is 0, or if it is greater than 3, greater than equal to 3, that is only greater than equal to, greater than 3, not equal to. Okay, greater than 3. Okay, so I'm having 3 also here. Okay, greater than 3, it will print this invalid choice. Okay, so I saved, and I'm going to compile this again, and I will run the program. So if I used 4, see, choice is invalid. Okay, if I used 3, we have a case value, right? So in that time, it will enter the value and it will calculate the value and it will display the output. If it is 0, again it will terminate. Okay, so here what I used for termination, exit. Okay, if I close this application, the application is exit, right? This window will close. So for this close event, we need to write this code only. Okay, and here system exit for close the application, terminate the program. Okay, for that we can use this. Okay, system out for to print the output, system in for to get the input. Okay, so like this way we can write the switch case. And here see, if I entered 1, okay, first one is addition. So here what I'm going to do, choice value is here I'm going to write 1, 2, 3. If I entered 1 or 2 or 3, it will display the addition of two number. Okay, like this we will plan it. Okay, and in the same way here also, not like this, we'll do 1 or 10. Okay, any one of the number. Okay, and in the same way 2 or 20. 2 or 20 na, it will enter into this block. And if it is multiple, here I'm going to use 3 or 30. Okay, so you can enter your choice 1 or 10. Okay, in that time it will enter into this case 1 block and it will print the output. Okay, so in that time here we have to remove this. Okay, so no need to exit. Okay, otherwise if I used this now, we can write else. Okay, else if choice value is equal to 10 or choice value is equal to 20 or choice value is equal to 30. Okay, in that time I need to execute this code. Okay, that is this input code, else we need to break it. Okay, again I'm going to use it here. Okay, and here we need to remove it. Okay, if it is 0 it will terminate. Okay, if it is choice value 10, 20 or 30. Okay, or in the same way, see, this is very difficult to handle while we using this switch case. If else condition, we need to write a condition, lots of conditions here. So like if it is 1, 2, 3. Okay, if I entered this choice value, either it is 1, 2, 3 or 10, 20, 30, we need to enter the value. Okay, else if it is equal to 0 also, we need to terminate. Instead of this value, whatever the other values we are going to enter, in that time also I need to terminate. Okay, for the 0 I'm given a conditions here, and if you need to give, you can give this. Otherwise without this block, we can write it like this way also. Okay, whatever the case value we are going to plan, only that case value we can check the condition, it will enter the value, else it will enter into this else block, it will terminate the block. Okay, so here I'm going to write a case 10. Okay, if it is 1 or 10, here it is very easy to handle, but if it is if else, we need to write this much of the code. Okay, so here I'm using in the same way case 20, right? And then here it is case if it is 30, also we need to enter into this block. Okay, so now we'll execute this. See, I'm going to combine and not initialized like that, displaying the error why it is now. We are entering into this block, right? So that it's not initialized. Okay, so I enter I given an input value inside the if block, right? So after that, this block is going to return the value to the case block here. So previously I returned outside of the block. Okay, in that time it won't display this variable not initialized like that. I'm not getting any error. Okay, but here if we need to clear this error, we need to assign the value, initial value we need to plan for the 0 variable. Okay, in that time this message, error message, will not display. See, uh, it will enter, and if I give 10 also, the program will execute. See, okay, if I give 30 also, it will execute. Okay, if I give 20 also, it will execute the code. Okay, if I give 1 also, it will execute the code. If I give improper value, that is 52 is not there, in that time choice is invalid, it exists. Okay, so like this way we can execute the code. Okay, here I used OR operator also. Okay, and previously I used and like this way we can write a multiple choice in single parenthesis. Okay, so for that I used if else and as well as switch case, everything we are having here. Okay, like this multiple case value we can write it, and here I'm not written or operator or and operator anything. Okay, so how many case you need to write it for one block, you can write that much of the case. Here I used case 1 and as well as case 10. If I entered 1 or 10, it will defaultly it will enter into this block. Okay, like this we can plan, and here in this time no need to write a or operator and and operator in switch case, but if it is an if else condition, we need to write the or operator and or and operator, everything we need to write it. Okay, then only the code will execute properly. Okay, so now we understand this, how to use the switch case. And here I used integer value, and while you move on to the next concept, wherever I need, I can write the switch case program. This choice value, in that time I will give the string value or character. If I need character, I need to get the character also there. Okay, so we'll plan one by one and we'll see it, but right now I given a demo for the integer choice. Okay, how to use the integer case value in switch case. For that only I written the code here. Okay, and next we will see the looping condition. In Java, how to handle the looping condition we'll see. And here I already told you while loop, do while, for loop. We have three types of loop. Instead of that, we are having for each also. Okay. For retrieve the array element, we can use for each without any condition statement. It will retrieve all the element and it will print the output. Okay. In array concept, I will explain you briefly and how to create an array element in Java and how to retrieve the value. Everything we will see it separately. And for the demo, I given a for each, and we'll see the program output for this basic looping condition here. Okay, so if I need to execute the code again and again, for that purpose we will move on to the looping condition. Okay, so previously we written some other code like switch case code and as well as student details or calculation or checking statement. Everything we can execute only one time, right? But if suppose I need to get 5 student details continuously, okay, without running the code, continuously we need to get the different input and output. Now in that time we can use the looping condition. Okay, so here first we'll see the while loop and for loop. This both are top tested loop. Okay, first it will check the condition, then it will execute the loop. And in the similar way, we are having do while also. But do while is a bottom tested loop. Okay, at last it will check the condition. Whether the condition is true, then only the code will execute. Okay, so here, how I return the while loop? Int I equal to 1. This is the initial value. In all the loops, we are having three types of value. One is initial value, test expression, re-init. So how to write the initial value, that is starting value, int I equal to 1. Okay, and then I'm writing the condition statement while within a parenthesis I is less than equal to 5. If I value is less than 5, the condition is true, right? So it will automatically enter into this block, and whatever the code you written here, that will execute. If you given a I value 10, in that time the condition is not true, right? It won't execute the loop. Okay, and if the condition is true, right now the condition is true, So it will execute the code, and after that here I'm having a I plus plus. Okay, I plus plus, this is a unary operator, and in unary operator, till now we are not completed the unary operator. I will tell you how to write the unary operators also. Okay, defaultly it will increment one value, okay, and decrement one value. Okay, so here I'm using I plus plus. After printing the code, it will increment one value, and then again it will go to this while loop. Again it will check the condition. Previously it is 1, now after increment it is 2. 2 is less than 5, now condition true, again it will execute. Till up to 5 times it will execute. If it is 6, the condition is false, it won't execute, it will come out of the code. Okay, like this way it will execute here. And see here I'm having a initial value, test expression, reinit. Everything we are having here. In all the 3 loops you have 3 value. Okay, in while loop I'm having 3 value, but I return in a different location. But while we move on to the for loop, it is also the top tested loop. But here all the expressions we are having in a single parenthesis. For is a keyword. Within a parenthesis I'm having all the expressions. Okay, initial, test expression, reinit, and 2 semicolon mandatorily we need to write it. Okay, so like this way we need to write the for loop, and here whatever the code you need to write, everything we can write it inside this block. If the condition is true, the code will execute. Similar way, the value will increment it. Again the condition checking statement. Again if the condition is true, the code will execute. Okay, like this till up to 5 times the code will execute again and again. If the value is getting 6 in that time, the code will not execute. Why? Because the condition is getting false. Okay, and this is the best loop condition. Why we are calling like best loop condition? Now all the 3 expressions we are having in a single parenthesis. Okay, so for that we can use the we can tell like for loop is a best loop condition, like that. Okay, and now we will move on to the do while loop. In this do while loop, we have initial value, re-initial value. At last I'm having a test expression. Okay, and this is the bottom tested loop. So if I give 100 as the initial value, the code will execute. Okay, after that one value will increment. Okay, and here if the condition is true, again it will iterate the value, otherwise it won't execute the loop. Okay, if it is 100 here na 101 is less than equal to 5, condition is false, it won't execute. So in do while, whether the condition is true or false, one time the loop will execute here. Okay, like this way we have to write the code. This is a syntax. Okay, for the while loop, do while, and for loop. In practically, we will see how to write this programs and all. And as well as we are having a for each also. Okay, using array element. If you need to retrieve the array element, we can use this loop. Okay, so for that, see, I created the array int a box bracket equal to flower brace open and close, and here I created some element. Okay, array element. Okay, so array element, it start from 0 and end with the null character, and array will allow you to store the duplicate value also. See, I'm having 22 times. Okay, it won't display any error, it will accept and it will print the output. And if I create like this is a dynamic array. You can create n number of element, integer value we need to give, but you can give n number of element. Okay, there is no any size here. Okay, you can pass n number of element in this variable. And whatever the elements I'm having in this a variable, using for loop I'm going to print it. For within a parenthesis int x colon a. Okay, that means whatever the a variable value I'm having here, that all the values is carried to the x. and X will printing the output. And here I'm not having any checking condition. I'm not having an initial value test expression ring in it. Directly I'm going to iterate from A to X, X will print the output. Like this way we can retrieve the element for the for each concept. Okay, and we have for each also. Okay, for each, like that we can write it. And we'll move on to the advanced concept like collections. In that we'll see. And we have lambda expressions and everything. And in that topics, I will tell you the for each how to write it. Okay, and here I'm using for and colon. Using this keyword and operators, how to retrieve the element from the array, that only I explained. Okay, and these are all the looping concept and how to write the program for this we will see here. Okay, first we'll see the while loop. Okay, so I just copied this basic code, paste it here. Always open and close it, and this is the program 2. I just save this file, and here I'm going to use while loop. Okay, while loop, and here I'm going to explain about the ternary operator. Ternary operator. Okay, so what are the ternary operators we are having? Question mark and a colon. If we need to check the value in single line, we can use the ternary operator. Okay, I'm going to use this ternary operator to check the value. Okay, so first I will write the code for the ternary operator. Okay, and then how to add the while loop program, while loop concept here. We'll do it. Okay, so here I'm going to declare the 2 variable. Okay, for this 2 variable I need to get the runtime input. See, I already written for the A and B variable runtime input, right? I'm going to use it this one. Okay, so now A and B variable value, I'm getting the runtime input, and I need a scanner object also. So after declaration, I'm going to write a scanner, new scanner within a parenthesis system.in. Okay, so declaration is over, input is also over, and I need to check the condition. And here I'm going to use the string variable for the result. Okay, so result is equal to, I'm going to check the condition. If A is equal to B, okay, I need to print both are equal. Okay, else colon both are not equal. Okay, and then I need to print the output for the result. Here result, just I'm calling that variable. Okay, that's it. So here I didn't return any if else condition. Okay, instead of that, here I'm using the expression within a parenthesis. I return the expressions. Okay, and if this expression is true, after question mark, whatever the message we return, this will print. This is true message, colon, else false message. Okay, so like this I return, and finally whatever the result I'm getting, that will be assigned to this result variable. Result will printing the output. Okay, and for this 2 variable checking condition, normally we are using if else. If I used a ternary operator, in single line we can check the value. Okay, so I return the program code, whatever I need I returned it. Okay, so first we'll compile this program, Java C. This is an program 2.java, and I'm going to run the program. See, I didn't add any looping condition here. Okay, just I'm going to enter the value. If the both the value is true, both are equal. If the both the value is not equal, not equal, like that it will print. Only one time the code will execute it here, right? Again I run and again I'm getting the output. Okay, in the same way, I'm going to execute the same code 5 times. Okay, 5 times different input and output. So how to write it? Okay, so for that, see, after declaration, this is a declaration. Okay, declaration part. And after that, here I'm getting the input. Okay, and here I written the condition statement, condition statement and output. Okay, so these are all the code I written here. Okay, now in this I'm going to write the looping condition. Okay, so I'm going to write the looping condition. So check 5 times. Okay, I'm going to write, or else I will give 3 times. Okay, 3 times, 3 times different value. Okay, this is the code. Okay, so 3 times I need to get the different value and different output. So for that we need a initial value. See, here I told you now, initial value, test expression, reinit. Everything we have to write it. And here, this is the code, right? Input code and output code. Condition statement and output code, everything I'm having here. From here, the code is started. See, I'm going to remove this. And instead of that, here I'm going to plan int I equal to 1. Okay, this is the initial value. Okay, and then test expression, while within a parenthesis I, in our question how many times I given? 3 times, so equal to 3. So that means 3 times the loop will execute. Okay, after that I plus plus. Okay, and before I plus plus, I'm having the input and the output statement. I'm going to write the input and the output statement. See, this is the input and the condition statement and the output. And at last I have the reinit. That's it. Okay, like this we need to add it. So this is a code whatever you return here. Okay, this code. Okay, so now we'll compile this. CLS program 2. So 3 times different input, different output. Continuously return the output. Okay, so whatever the values you need, you can give it. Okay, so here I told you this is a top tested loop. If I give 4, okay, so I value is 3 only. If I give initial value as 4, once you compiled and once you run this program, see, it won't execute the loop. It won't getting the input for this, right? So it's terminated here. Okay, so in the same way you can write any code, whatever the code you need to write it inside that, you can write it. So this is the initial value, test expression, curly bracket opening, closing. Before that close, we need to write the reinitial value. Okay, only this one we need to add it here. Okay, any doubts in this? And the same way I'm going to write one more program for the do while. Okay, this is for the do while. Okay, so in do while I'm going to use the ternary operator 3 times only, but here I used a equal to operator na. So here I will write less than operator. Okay, so here I need to change the message, right? A is less than B. Okay, otherwise B is less than A. Okay, that is the result. We need to print it, whatever we are having. Okay, and here this is the do while. I told you the 3 times I need to execute. Okay, if you learn this while loop, do while is easy. Okay, so how to write it? You just cut this while loop from here and write a do block, and after the end of the do block we need to write the while, and while is ended with the semicolon in do. Okay, but in while loop, while is not ended with semicolon, but in do while is ended with the semicolon. Okay, see, previously I used initial value 4, right? The code will not execute here in a while loop. Okay, in the same way, see, I used the same initial value here. Okay, in do while, how the code will execute we'll see here. And here I used to change the operator. I need to check whether A is less than B or not. Okay, so we'll compile this program number 3 and we'll run the program. See whether the condition I given 4. Okay, initial value is 4. Anyway, the code is executing here. See, one time I can give the input and I can get the output. Okay, either condition is true or false, the code will execute. This is do while. Okay, so that is a difference between a while loop and a do while. But in both loop, we are having an initial value test expression re-init, and here also I am having initial value re-init and a test expression. Okay, so we need to write it in a different location, and whatever the code you need to write it inside that, you can write anything, either it is if else or arithmetical operator or student details, any code we can write it. Okay, here I used a ternary operator to print the output. Okay, so similarly we'll see the for loop also. Next I will write the for loop, and first I will complete the basic code, and this is a basic syntax for the for loop program 4. Okay, so here I need to change the heading to for loop. Okay, and here what I'm going to do, I'm going to print the table 1 to 15 times. Okay, 1 to 15 times I need to print the table. That is the format is for example 2 once 2, like that. Okay, this is a format. Till in the same way, here I used 1, right? Till 15 times I need to print the code. Okay, this is a concept I'm going to take it here, and for that we need a scanner. See, I already declared the scanner and everything. I just copy it from here and I will paste it. Okay, I already import the package, so scanner is available here. And here for the declaration I need only T and O, table number. Okay, only this one I need. And here I'm going to get the runtime input for table number. What table we need to print it, whether it is second table or fifth table or ninth table or 10th table. Okay, so like that we need to get the value from the user, right? So for that T and O equal to s1 dot next int. Okay, like this we can write it. And here I'm going to write the for loop. Okay, so for within a parenthesis, flower brace open and close, and inside that parenthesis we need to write 2 semicolon mandatorily. Okay, and I need to declare the I variable. See, I can declare that variable here also, int I, like that you can declare it. And here directly you can use the I equal to 1. Like that we can start it. Otherwise, if suppose you are not going to declare as a variable in a local variable like this way, na, you can declare it inside the for loop also. Okay. So I equal to 1. Starting from 1, how many times I need to execute? 15 times, right? So we need to write the condition statement. I is less than equal to 15 and then I plus plus. Okay. If this condition is true, it will enter into this block. Okay. And here I need to print the system dot out dot println. Within a parenthesis, I need to print this format. What is the format? This is the format. Okay. Just copy it and paste it. Okay. And here for T and O, if I call the T and O, the 2 will print. Right. If I call I, after that I need to concatenate this multiplication, plus if I call the I variable, that I variable value will print. And after that we are having an equal to symbol, plus I need to calculate this T and O into I, right? So in that time it will multiple to number and it will print the output till up to 15 times. The loop will execute here continuously. Okay. So now we'll see the output for this. And what is the program number? This one is 4. Okay. See, I'm going to enter second table till up to 1 to 15 times it will iterate it. Okay. If I used sixth table, it will print. Okay. Seventh table, eighth table, everything it will print. Okay. So continuously it will print the output like this. Okay. Like this way we can write the for loop. And we have some lots of interview questions here. And when we move on to the function concept, we need a functions also here. I will add it. Okay. In that I will tell you how to write the for loop. We need to write mandatorily all the 3 expression in single parenthesis, or we can write it in anywhere we can able to access it. Now how we need to write it, everything we'll see it in function concept. Okay. I will cover that one also, but this is a basics for loop I written here, and while you move on to that topics I will tell you that one. Okay. So now you understand about while loop, do while and for loop, right? Now we'll move on to the for each concept. Using array element, how to retrieve the value we'll see here. Next, for each. Okay. Using array, how to retrieve the value, we'll see that. For and colon, that is for each loop. Okay. Using array, we are printing the using array, we are going to print the element. Okay. So for that only I'm going to write the code. First I will save this program number 5. Okay. Save it. Okay. Now first we need an element. Okay. So for that I'm going to declare the a box bracket equal to flower brace open and close semicolon. And here you can assign any value. Okay. And there is no any limit, and you can assign any value, but only the integer value we have to write it. Why? Because this is an integer data type. Okay. So like this I'm having a n number of values. I don't know how many elements I'm having here. Okay. I need to retrieve all the element. Using for each, how to retrieve, we'll see that. For within a parenthesis int x colon a. So whatever the values I'm having in a, that all the values will assign to the x, and x will print the element automatically. So here I'm going to print in the same line. Okay. So for that I'm using print x. Okay, and I need to give the tab for each and every element. Okay, so for that I'm using tab like this. Okay, and if you need write comma, no need to write comma, just without comma I'm using only tab. Okay, and after completing this while loop, whatever the code I'm going to write it after this, I need to write it in a next line. Okay, that output I need to display it in a next line. For that I'm using one empty println method here. Okay, that's it, I completed. And this is the for loop I used. Okay, I will give the heading also here, using for each loop. Okay, so now we'll see the output for program 5, and no need the util package for this. Okay, so if you need you can write it, but I'm not getting the input for this, right? So no need to import it. And here just compile the program 5 dot java, and java program 5. So I given a tab, right? So it will give the space and it will print the output like this. Okay, so this is a way to retrieve all the elements, whatever the elements we are having here, it will retrieve it using for and a colon. And here I'm not having any condition statement, test expression, reinit and everything. Okay, just directly I'm assigning the value to A to Z is printing. Okay, suppose if I'm going to retrieve this value using for loop, okay, or for each, how to write it? I'm using for loop here, using for loop. Okay, so how to write it means, first we need to find the length, a dot length. Okay, so how many elements we are having in this a variable, that we have to find it. Okay, see, the number of element is, and I need to print a len. First we'll get the number of element. Okay, so compile and run it. So the number of element is 14. Okay, so using that value, I'm going to write the for loop condition. So first we need to find the length, and then we need to write the for loop. So for that, int I equal to array index value, it start from 0. So we are using 0, I less than len. Okay, we are not supposed to write equal to here. Why? Because I'm not having the value in null point. Okay, so before null point, whatever the values we are having, that only till up to 42 we need to print it. After that I'm having a null value, right? Array index value will start from 0 and end with the null character. Okay, so till up to 42 I need to print it. So if I'm going to retrieve the element from the array, we need to write only the less than operator, not less than equal to. Okay, so till this and then I plus plus. Okay, so using this I need to print the output. So system.out.print ln I'm going to use it here, and I'm going to use it the index value. Okay, I plus index value is, okay, what is the index value for the a variable, a box bracket of I. Okay, so a is array element, and here I'm using box bracket of a, that means index value. Okay, starting from 0 till up to the condition is getting false, the loop will iterate again and again. So using for loop we need to execute like this way. So all the 14, that is 0 to till up to 13, it will print all the elements. Okay, here we need to write this much of the code. Okay, but here no need to write directly. We will iterate, we will print it. And here no need to write the curly bracket also. Okay, simply without a curly bracket, we can write like this. See, we'll get the output. Okay, but here we need to write, it will also execute, but if I'm going to write any logics inside that, in that time we need to write a curly bracket opening closing. Okay, here I'm going to print only the index value. If suppose I'm going to write any other logic inside that, suppose I'm going to calculate or I'm going to change any particular index value, in that time we need to write the curly bracket opening closing. Okay, so this is the way to use array element, and using for and colon we have to retrieve it. Okay, so here this is very easy to retrieve, but here we need to write lots of code, condition statement, length, and everything. So for this purpose only we are using this loop. Now you understand the difference between a for loop and for each. Okay, so these are all the topics we covered in this session, and here I covered the ternary operator also. Okay, and in operator we are having unary and as well as arithmetical assignment operator. Like this kind of logic, how to implement that operator also will cover. And here I used unary operator. Okay, so separately I will give one programs also for that. Don't worry about that. In any other logic I will do it. Okay, so this operator will not complete till this topic. Okay, so we'll going to use this all the operators, looping, whatever the concept we already completed, everything we are going to use it in a future code also. Okay, so we'll use it one by one. Like this way we need to learn about the while loop, do while, and the for loop and for each. So any doubts in this switch case and as well as for loop? Okay, so just do the practical sessions. Okay, and then only you can able to write the code and you can able to understand the code what we written here. Okay, and thanks for watching.